Back at it again, swinging. Boot fighter swinging for the fence. They're round 3.
Wow!
Wow! What a hell of a match. We predicted that to be explosive. Explosive.
That was the absolute, look, guys, that was the best amateur fight I've ever seen. That was amazing.
Justin, your brother, man, your little guy against your good friend. Let's talk about the Battle of the Behemoths, the heavyweights. That was one of the most epic fights I've seen, and it was an advanced, it was an advanced amateur, so we had pro rules. Thank God the cage was well enforced because that fight was sick. Talk to you, Justin. You're close with both guys, so give us a little synopsis there.
So when Brady knocked out Mike Erb and Ian Paul, you know, Brady came to me, he's like, you know, it may come down to me fighting, you know, Ian, just for, out of sport, just out of pure respect. And then he would come over and cross-train with us, and I would always say to myself, like, I don't like that fight, and it's not that I don't like the fight because either one will get hurt, and I'm like, I don't literally like the fight like my friends, like I'm friends with you, like I talk life with Pat Brady. And, I'm very close with Ian. That's my little bro. I love that kid. We train together. We're together all the time. Like, I know his ins and outs and all that, about him. And then Ian was like, yo, hey, would you take on being one of my coaches? So I said, yeah. And I didn't corner him his last fight. Even though I coached him, I didn't corner him. I left that, the respect for Julio Rosario, because that's his top coach, and Sammy Sanchez. It's a respect thing, That's where he started. They asked to corner him. Without hesitation, I said absolutely. So I stayed and called the fight. But when he called Brady, he's like, yo, I want you in my corner. But, like, I'm talking to Pat every day. Like, I talk to Pat almost, if not every day, every other day. And it's like, I'm talking to him, and I'm like, bro, I'm training my little bro to beat the shit out of you. And I was like messing up. Like, I felt bad. But, man, them boys put on a fucking show. They put on a show, and the way it ended, I mean, everyone has their pick, their choice of who won and who lost. I'm happy to a certain extent that it ended the way it did, because I needed Ian, because Ian's taking it as a career. I needed Ian to face adversity at such a young age in this sport. You know what I mean? That he got a controversial brawl, where you got people in the crowd you got people that were wearing Brady shirts that were saying, yo, I think you won, and you got a controversial decision, and it stays nothing but sport and all love. Ian and Pat still talk now, they bust on each other, they're liking each other's stuff, and when I cannot wait for them to fight again, because I think that fight is going to be just, if not better.
I thought one important thing out of that fight, they both have great striking. They're both monsters. They both could knock you out with one punch. But I was most impressed with their chins. Ian landed clean shots. Pat Brady, with his big-ass cantaloupe hands, he landed great shots. And both guys just walked through them. I'm not a fighter, so I don't know if they go in the back, and that's where they start crying and holding their faces. But they both walked out of that cage like they were just cool with 2 more rounds. Like, they were going to beat the hell out of each other.
Listen, Pat, he's over there. I know Justin trains, Ian. But Pat is over there at Balance Studios, who has a lot of big guys over there to get Pat ready. I mean, he was training with Andre Petrosky. He's training with Joe Bodybags Piper, who is, listen, he's another guy who helped build Art of War tremendously.
Here's a chance, Bodybags. Oh, this was a matchup of 2 guys that were really well trained, really, well schooled. Talking to Pat beforehand, he told me he was going to put his body on Ian and try to keep him up against the cage. And he did that for most of the fight. But Ian didn't just stand there. Ian They were exchanging knees, dirty boxing. You're talking, like you said, Mike, going back and forth, exchanging combinations. This wasn't a heavyweight fight where you got two lumbering guys just leaning on one another for 3 rounds. This was exchange after exchange after exchange after exchange. The crowd was standing, the crowd was screaming. To me, it was one of the most wild fights. I heard people calling it World War III. I mean, to this day, I still think it's one of the greatest fights I've seen, not just in Art of War. It's one of the greatest fights I've ever seen in MMA. And let me tell you guys, I've been cage side for over 1,000 fights since I've been covering the sport and involved in the sport for over 15 years. And it's one of the most memorable and fun fights I can ever remember seeing. Both of those guys had so much heart. Oh my God, it was fantastic.
It was like a game of Rampage in there. That's what it was like. King Kong versus Godzilla. That's really what it was about, man. They they put it on. I mean, Pat's game plan was smart. When it comes to striking, Pat has knockout power, but when it comes to all-around striking, Ian has better striking. Ian has all-around better striking than Pat Brady. But, I mean, Pat Brady's broke in the face with an uppercut. He's knocked Mike Herb out with one punch, so we know that Brady can punch. I've been punched by Brady. It's not fun. I've trained with Brady plenty of times. It's my boy. And also standing in front of Ian is damn near writing the death wish. Ian trains on a lot of big ass things himself. Leading up to that fight, he's standing in front of Sean Brady, Jeremiah Rose. At one point, he was training with Sean Teed and Corey Anderson, and Corey Anderson just was lined up to fight, John Jones if he would have won his last fight. These are guys that he was training with. Mike Wilcox, Jonathan Webb, Pat Sabatini, Manny freaking Morales. I mean, there's Jose Soto. There's so many people that we have. They both come from solid teams. I mean, you can't go wrong. I mean, they're both the X-Men. Both schools. I just want to see them running back again. That's all.
Well, I know Pat wants to get through. Pat's getting married to a beautiful young lady, Kiki, and we wish him well on that marriage. He doesn't want to have any black eyes for that.
Let me tell you something. I'm a little pissed off that this might happen before the wedding because I just found out that my seat's by the bathroom now. Yeah, he gave me a bathroom seat with Egan.
Hey, Mike, you ain't going to have any problem. There won't be an empty seat when you match those two guys up again, Mike. Justin and I are both looking forward to that.
I got people who are inboxing me over that fight, like they've been. Ian has gotten a fan base now off of that fight. They wanted to. I so wish we were fighting May 9th because there's people who literally wanted to buy tickets to that fight. They were hitting me up like, "Yo, when he fights, I want 5 tickets. I need 3 tickets. I need 2 tickets," and that's a good thing. It's always a good thing. More tickets is always a good thing.
That's the beautiful thing about what those guys do, because they start off trying to get into the game and make some noise. And I know Ian, he's a very quiet dude. He don't talk any shit whatsoever, but he's a monster in the cage. So when people actually got to see his talent and see what he does, the fact that people are reaching out and saying, "I want to see it again," that makes me genuinely happy inside with these guys, because Ian's a great dude. I want to see him push this to the limit, see how far he can go.
He's going to be a solid pro, bro. Ian's going to be in the UFC. He has all the potential. Like, he has the it, and he's getting the right training. So, I mean, he'll be there. Ian's definitely UFC caliber. He's going to run. He's going to be hard to fight in the pros. Guys aren't ready to get kicked by him with no shin pads. He didn't really get a chance to let them things fly against Brady. He hit Brady with a few, but he didn't really let them things fly against Brady. And that's a good thing. Brady executed his game plan by smothering, and just straight out muscling him, going for muscles. So, Pat he's a college athlete. He's a very strong athlete. Very strong. He's hard to wrestle with. He's hard to grapple with. He's a strong dude. Even when he doesn't know what he's doing, he still knows what he's doing because he's strong. He's still able to defend and fight off and all that other shit. I can't say it enough. I literally cannot wait to see them fight again. Even though I don't want that fight, I still can't wait to see it again. Pat's my friend. Ian's somebody I love. Ian's somebody whose career I'm going to be involved with until it ends.